Hey Conan, how are you, man?
Hey, how's it going, dude? Just hanging out.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, you can hear me fine too.
Oh yeah, and you look your picture is really good.
Okay, good, good. A
Okay,
non-functional green screen. Sorry.
I'm gonna use it. Trust me, I will put something. I don't know, unicorns running around,
Sure, sure.
and I will mess with Exmortus right now. No, I won't. No, I
No,
won't.
it's all good. I don't care. We're just fucking around.
Okay. The press release says that Necrophony took 4 years in the making. So how truth does that
Uh,
hold?
well, it didn't take that long to actually make it. I mean, it took that long for it to come out, I guess. But yeah, we didn't really work on it during the pandemic because yeah, everything went to shit, so we were like just so hopeless, we were all depressed, and just we didn't feel motivated to carry on. We thought our careers were over. We thought like this is it. It was very
Oh man.
bleak. But little by little we got ourselves out of it once we were able to, like, see each other again and jam. We were able to do a small tour at some point during that summer, or I forget when. It was like the fall, and we just did like a run up and down the coast, that allowed venues that allowed shows.
Mhm.
And yeah, that kind of just reignited our spark to just, yeah, finish the album, because we were already working on it before the pandemic. We had a good handful of songs, but yeah, we finally were like, we got to finish the album and record it. So we finally did. um but it took a while. We've recorded it last February.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and waited a whole year for it to come out. So that also made it drag a bit, but that's fine with me. There's no rush. Um, just as long as the product is it comes out as we want it to, and it is. We're very happy how the recording went. We went with Zach Oren again this time.
Hmm.
uh Always great, a great dude, and has great ears and gets the best out of us. So we figured let's go with him again. He's a good friend of ours too. um and the artwork was great. It looks great. It captures what the sound is kind of like heading towards this time. And yeah, Nuclear Blast, we're stoked to be on their roster. It's still unreal to us that we got that offer. And it's just, we're just really stoked about it. Everyone's cool over there. And yeah, just
You're blazing through my questions right now.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, yeah.
No, but
I
you're making total sense. And in fact, I wanted to just to comment that coming out of this 2 year of lockdowns, it's very, very difficult. And I don't think, with how fast our world is moving, we don't actually stop and think what happened in the last 2 years and what is the collateral damage that we actually see nowadays.
Mhm.
So I understand how difficult for you guys was to get back to the saddle again and start doing that. Okay, let's not dwell
Yeah,
on that, however.
for
Um,
sure.
but there is some change in the atmosphere of Exmortus, right? Because I was
Mhm.
thinking about, of course, fantasy warriors, swords, Conan. So how did how did this shift happen? Because the artwork also follows this change. So when did that switch happen?
um it kind of happened before the pandemic too, because
Good.
we had an EP release, the Legions of the Undead.
Mhm.
And it was just a couple originals, and they were already kind of getting it's a good transition to the new album. So we were already like messing around with that. I mean, we had some songs like that in the previous records too, but like the whole thing was more like yeah, like sword and sorcery, a little more epic fantasy, a little more heroism in the themes and the lyrical content. But yeah, this time around, of course the times influenced our mentality a little bit. So this album is a lot more like introspective and you know reflective of the times. And yeah, I think we wanted to just kind of push that more too, because of that. Like, we already had a handful of songs being written, and we figured like, yeah, let's kind of push this new aspect a little more.
Mhm.
Because I mean, even then, I still think it sounds like, it's still an Exmortus album,
Oh,
through
yeah,
and through.
of course.
But the lyrical content is a little more, it's a lot more darker, and the music too. There's darker harmonies, darker melodic phrasing, and all that stuff. So yeah, it just overall makes for a darker mood, and I like that. I like that we kind of did this time with the new label to kind of just emphasize a change. And
Right.
so yeah, we're pretty stoked for the fans to I hope it's a fresh of breath air for them. And yeah, I'm just really excited about what they think about the rest of the album.
You sound and you look excited, and that's good news.
Oh yeah.
So, did you sign with Nuclear Blast after starting working on Necrophony, or after you had the finished product?
Oh, it was before. It was right before the pandemic, actually. Yeah. So yeah, and we were like a little worried too, like, oh, are they gonna still be down for this? And yeah, of course they still honored the contract that we had already signed by then. So obviously just everything slowed down for us and
Yes.
the rest of the world, of course. But yeah, we had that offer before, and yeah, we were just really excited. So like I said, we were pretty crushed by everything that happened because of that. But regardless, everything's still kicking off, and we're pretty excited now. There's a lot of very enthusiastic concert goers now. Everyone's really going to shows again, and yeah, everything's just been good so far.
I'm a little bit surprised to hear you saying that you got excited by signing with Nuclear Blast, because Exmortus is not a new kid on the block. We cannot say that. You have been active, oh man, 2002. I remember getting the first vinyl in 2008, I want to say. Yeah. So it's not like you know your stuff. You have some confidence at least. Come on.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just for us. Well, I was a kid. 2008, our first album. Yeah, I was 18 when that came out, and didn't know we didn't know what the hell we're doing. And then, to be honest, I still don't. I'm just I'm just still going with it. Just wherever we know the band, and wherever we can take this vision. So but yeah, I mean, Nuclear Blast is a definite step up from our previous record label. Nothing against Prosthetic Records, but we've always liked the roster of Nuclear Blast. Like, everyone on there is just awesome bands. And they have a great team. So just to be a part of that, like, it's really nice. It's really nice to have a good team backing you up, and just everything's really very smooth. It's been great. That's pretty much all I can say about that. But definitely excited for the things to come.
So what input did you give to Toha, right? Am I pronouncing correctly?
I think, yeah, Toha Mashuri, yeah.
Okay, good. So what input did you give him? Well, you had the EP, of sure, but for the actual album cover artwork, what did you ask from him?
We kind of like let him do his own thing. Because to be honest, I think most of check this out. We get him a lot to do our not album work, sorry, our t-shirt designs. Okay. So I don't know how many designs he's done for us, and when we get him from him, I just see his page, and I'm like, oh dude, can I buy that before he's done with it? Because I can already tell, oh, this is gonna be sick, this is what we need. And a lot of the times I bought artwork from him like that. I hardly ever tell him, oh, can you do this? I hardly ever commission anything from him. But this time I did commission the idea for him to do the album artwork, and I just told him the name of the album, and like a Symphony of the Dead, and I told him, like, yeah, something with like a little ensemble of a classical musician ensemble would be cool in the album, or and just go have fun with it. And he pretty much just did exactly what we imagined.
He hit the nail
really nice
on the head, man. I mean,
yeah. And what I like too about that is that there's 4 of the musicians, and I guess he kind of wanted to do that to represent the 4 band members. So I thought that was really, really neat. I like that a lot.
So, and you have the visualizer for Storm of Strings. So all the artwork that we see is his?
So far, I think so. Yeah. But that visualizer, that I believe that was like run through some sort of AI shifting thing, because the way it worked out, I don't know how that happened, but it looked really cool. I'm not sure how they set it up. I'm still new to the whole AI thing. And I know the AI opinions are very polarized, but you know, I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about it in general, but you know, it came out great. It looks cool. Nothing to say about, you know, what AI what its role is going to play into the future of, you know, of future art and musicians and whatnot. But that one came out great, and it looks like a fucking nightmare or some shit, you
Yes.
know. I thought, again, like that really matches like the aesthetic of what we're going for on this album. But yeah, that's really cool. Cool stuff.
Although now that you mentioned AI, I think I read somewhere that musicians started using AI. So, oh man, I
Right.
have an idea if AI can write thrash. I hope it cannot. But honestly, joke aside, I have no idea how the future of music will sound, look like, or anything in between.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the fear is that it'll replace, you know, humans and artists and stuff. So I get the I get those feelings, you know, like I understand where people are coming from when they say that. And for me, it's like I kind of feel like it's hopeless to fight against, because it's just with the times, you know, like same with even though it's a different kind of a topic, but same with like just the music industry in general, like you know, downloadable songs and shit, you know, everyone's sharing files and stuff. I guess the best you could do is kind of like adapt to it, embrace it somehow, and like adapt to the times. So for me, like AI seems to be, you know, cool for like, say maybe you're in a rut, you don't have inspiration, maybe have run something through the AI thing to make up a
Sure.
riff for you, or the start of an idea, and then from there is how you work it. So to me, it's not so much, you know, it's gonna it's gonna replace humans, because humans, we have complex minds, and we could totally use our own, you know, creative methods of how to deal with a riff, how to deal with this and that. So I don't believe it'll replace humans, you know, entirely. If anything, let's just take advantage of it and use it as, you know, tools to better our art. So that's how I see it.
Also, in the end of the day, you still need to play your music live.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
I mean,
if you cannot, then
yeah, I mean,
something's
yeah,
wrong.
would you exactly? Do you want to go to a show and see robots play your favorite songs, and it just, no, you want the human aspect. You want them to kind of just be loose with it and like have, you know, throw on a show, and
Yeah.
yeah. So it will never be replaced. You know, I don't think so.
No, as long as at least in our, at least I'm 49, so it doesn't count. Anyways,
Oh, okay. Oh,
I will not state that.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Storm of Strings. So, of course, it's Vivaldi. But
Mhm.
then I read in the press release that it was some sort of a tribute to Yanni too. That caught me off guard.
Yes.
I will tell
Yeah,
you that.
yeah. Yeah, the thing is, and it's funny because me and my cousin Mario, he used to be the drummer for Exmortus. We saw some footage on YouTube, and I forget if it was on YouTube or something, but somewhere we saw him perform that piece, and we're like, this is fucking dope. Like, because we knew everyone knows that, you know, the Summer Concerto from Vivaldi, you know, at least if you know you're into some, if you're into some classical, you'll definitely know that piece. And we were like, that's such a crazy like super energetic style that Yanni did with it, and it just worked. It's like, it was fast, but it has like a, you know, nice Latin groove to it. And we were like, damn, that would be really cool if we did that or something, you know, like with heavier drums. And we just never got around to it at the time. We had that like in the works for a while, but we were focusing on covering Beethoven at the time, you know.
Mhm.
So now with this new cycle, we're like, well, let's break out of that in a way, you know, like not just make the album a little darker and everything, but let's emphasize another change. Instead of covering Beethoven, let's cover another composer. And I figured, okay, now is the time to do that Yanni cover. And it was there's a lot of fun, you know. It's really cool. And
I
when we
think you're
released
talking
it,
about the same YouTube video that I saw. It was with an Armenian, I think, violin player.
oh yes, yes, and
Oh my
and
goodness,
another
that
female
was,
violinist, yes.
I
Hmm.
got the same excitement from a metal concert. That's unique because you can see these guys so passionate, and the
Yeah.
harpist, oh man. Anyways,
Oh yeah, the harpist had like this solo thing. Oh, it's like, dude, it was
amazing, amazing.
awesome. Yeah, awesome, man. Yeah, exactly.
So, how
So yeah, that's why we
difficult,
were like, we have to cover this. And yeah.
how difficult is to arrange such a classical piece? I mean, basically, you are replacing the violin with guitar, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. And that's an interesting question because, you know, with their previous covers of like we covered the Beethoven sonatas and stuff. Yeah, like it's just on the piano. So like I would say, okay, for sure, like the low end, the low bass parts should be for bass, but the middle we could kind of like, you know, put this here and there for, you know, either guitarists because we're very limited, you know, just three stringed instruments. And I don't want to do too many layers if we're going to be playing it live, you know.
Correct.
It's going to be hard and it'll sound a little empty if I do that. So I try to cover as much as I can in with three stringed instruments. So luckily for this one, there's not too many crazy things going on. And of course Yanni already did the arrangement. We just pretty much copy and pasted his arrangement and just, you know, added guitars and whatever. So it's a lot of fun for me. I like doing that. You know, I like and it just gives me an excuse to study more sheet music. I like doing that to kind of see how they did this and that, especially different composers. I was on a Beethoven binge. I think I already exhausted that, so I'm gonna start doing other things.
It's interesting though, and I don't want to keep talking only for this song. That you know, classical music has the rules. It follows a specific patterns, let's say, sometimes. But in metal, it can be chaotic, right? You can have all kind of stuff, especially in progressive metal. So it's interesting how those things, those two universes, join together. But anyways,
yeah, I mean, I mean that's the beauty. That's the beauty for heavy metal. I mean, of heavy metal is that, you know, it's very flexible. You know, you can have heavy metal that's very well structured or just very loose and chaotic because, you know, it's very. I mean, metal is just extreme emotions and, you know, and extreme ideas even, not just emotions, but it could be, you know, extreme mental things or extreme heartfelt things.
Yes,
and
yes.
I think like this piece and other things are just fit very well.
And this is why the AI will fail. Okay. Next subject.
Yes, exactly.
You have two, I think, the longest Exmortus songs, right? The Darkest of Nights and Children of the Night. So when you were working on those, did you, I don't know if you can plan that, but were you shooting to have an epic piece or a long piece, or I don't know?
Yeah, I guess that's an interesting question. I mean, we were really planning on that. Those two songs, I did most of the writing on those two, and of course, the rest of the guys had their input and stuff. But yeah, we didn't really plan it for it to be that long. We just, I guess, I imagined so much to come out of like the basic riffs out of them that I chose to develop them a lot and have them in the song that I realized, oh shit, it's actually kind of getting longer than I expected. I just didn't really plan that, but yeah, it's pretty much just because the amount of material that came out of the riff at the time, and I wanted it there, and yeah, I guess it's just the structure of it, the form of it, especially Children of the Night. For that one, I chose it to be to fit pretty closely to the classical rondo form. And you know what I mean? It has like A, B, A's and then C, B, A, whatever. And like a certain structure that keeps repeating the main riff and having stuff. Yeah. So that's what was like, okay, that I just planned it to be that way, but I didn't expect it to be so long. So for Darkest Nights, that one's a little different and it didn't really do it that way. But again, it just kind of came out that way.
And is it right? Although I think I sense there is a connecting thread between the intro, the masquerade, and then the overture, and then some of the songs is indeed, I could not say that, yes, I can hear that. This is the thread that connects all these pieces. Is this something that you intentionally did?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's oh yeah, I love doing this a lot. I mean, I've done it before, but in the past, they're more or less like related ideas in the previous albums, but this time they're a little more like obvious, and I just wanted to do that too because that was like a very popular classical technique during the 1800s, mid 1800s, even more, to have like a repeating motif, and it would change or sometimes not change too much, but the change would be noticeable or you know, it'd be refreshing every time you hear it. And I really wanted to do that for this album. And yeah, there's a lot of repeating ideas. Like there's like a particular theme or motivic melody that repeats for like half of the album pretty much, and
Right.
a lot of them are in the intros because you can hear them a little more clearly. And yeah, I really love having that. What I forget what it's called, like cyclical form
Oh
to
yeah,
have a
yeah, yeah,
thing
yeah.
just kind of happen again and again, and it's yeah. So
So
yeah,
yeah,
definitely it was intentional.
it was almost like doing a concept. Well, in theory, you could, right? Turn this into a concept. But
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And again, yeah.
what about Moonchild? How did you decide to cover that? And before answering this, at what version will this be available? The Moonchild cover.
Oh yeah, like yeah, I think it's gonna be on the album. For I get everyone. I think I don't think it's gonna be like a what do you call it? A you
A
know,
bonus.
Japanese release, European release. But that's what we anticipated for because we had done that with prosthetic. So we had extra time in the studio to kind of just dish out a cover, and we didn't know what to do. But I guess we were thinking, well, since this album is like kind of our darkest one yet, what if we did like Maiden's darkest album cover, you know? And then we're like, well, we picked Moonchild because we thought it sounded, you know, it fit our style a little more, I guess. And yeah, it was awesome. It was fun to play. And I can't sing like Dickinson. I'll try, but I won't sound any good. But Cody, our bassist, his brother is a singer. He has a band called Fortress. And yeah, he has those pipes and he has that range, and it just an expressiveness in that range too that sounds a lot like Dickinson, and he fucking nailed it. And yeah, that came out really awesome.
So because my question would be was meant to be, did you sing in that? But you gave me the answer, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, no, yeah, yeah. I'm not really good with the like I've done like high pitch falsettos and stuff in the past, of course, but yeah, I guess I do the more extremity things, you know,
Right.
extremities. Whereas you know in the middle ground, I'm not too awesome at that.
I wasn't sure how much of this, let's say, clean singing you have done in the with the Fire, right? The other band that you have released music last
Mhm.
year. So are you singing that, or is
Oh
just
yeah,
backing vocals?
no, no, no. Yeah, yeah. That the band the Fae. That is Jeff Potts' project. Jeff Potts used to be in Warbringer. He's been in Mantic Ritual. So you know he's always done like at least. I mean, yeah, I think as far as I know, he's done a lot of thrash, you know, stuff. But he's a rocker at heart, and I consider myself to be a rocker at heart too. And but we're both like classical like nerds, and um I just really wanted to, you know, help him out because he asked me if I could fill in for a little tour that they did at the time, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, you know, I was really stoked for the music he made. It was very similar to like Exmortus because we're like, you know, we're doing a classical thing for a heavy metal sound or whatever, and he's doing that kind of same idea for his rock and roll prog sound. And yeah, I it's interesting to see someone else's take on classical because I guess he drew from different artists. You know,
Right.
I'm more of a in the Beethoven camp. He's a little more into the like he's a little scattered, but I think like he did more Mendelssohn and things like that and this on his stuff. So it's really cool to you know get into his mind, you know, and then jam with him in that level.
Are you
So
still
really cool
working with
stuff.
that with him for maybe volume 2 books of
Yes.
maps? Oh, cool.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So yeah, I'll be helping them out. I mean, I'm considered to be in the band, so I'm still a member. But he's the guy in charge, so I'll throw in ideas here and there. I'm not trying to like you know alter their sound because like whatever they're doing, I think it's great, and if I could contribute, cool. And they don't like it, that's fine. But but yeah, but Jeff Potts is the man. He's great. He's a great dude.
Okay, back to Exmortus. So, how is the rest of 2023 as far as touring goes? I know you have some shows, 3 shows in California. What is the rest of the year
Yes.
like?
We are definitely hitting the road. We're going to be hitting the road very likely October. Like that'll
Okay.
be the month that we're going to be doing a North American tour. And yeah, we just can't wait to spread the music, hit the road again. It's been a long time since we've done a full North American tour, and it's long overdue. So yeah, we're definitely hitting the road before the year ends, before the weather starts to get really bad.
Of course.
And then after that, we'll be hitting the road again as much as we can next year. Let's keep going strong as much as we can to promote the new album. So yeah.
So these, let's say, two parts of this tour will be on the States, or are you crossing the Atlantic too? For Europe?
Oh well, for these plants is over here only,
Okay.
North America. We were trying to jump on to go overseas, but that's more likely next year. Next year for sure. We gotta really push for that.
Okay. And November 18th, you have a special show, right? You are celebrating the 15 years, right? Going back to what we were talking about.
Yes, 15-year anniversary.
So is this gonna be
yes
only once? You're gonna do you will celebrate in here only once?
Well, I mean, I'm willing to do it every time, I guess, but I guess if in fives are really nice, it just makes it a little more special, right? Like 15 years, 20 years, 25.
Oh, no.
We could just, do it every year, just to have an excuse to do it. But
my question was, is this only for the November 13th show, or are you, I don't know, maybe add more songs because you still have a new album out?
That's true. Yeah, good question. For this show, we're gonna play a lot of the old stuff, not too much. I mean, we still have the new album to promote, but yeah, this show is kind of be that focus because the whole show is like an anniversary show. Violence is 35th anniversary of Eternal Nightmare. Bonded by Blood's 50th anniversary of their debut album as well. And it's funny because I am also in Bonded by Blood. I'm doing the lead guitar for them now. And I'm going to be doing double duty. And Adrian, our drummer, he's also in Violence. So we're, there's a lot of like, blending in together there in the set. But yeah, that's going to be a very special show. Like just, so a lot of cool, old nostalgic songs being played. But yeah, we'll play some new songs too, of course.
Okay. Conan, that's all. These were my questions. Thank you very much for your time. If I forgot something and you would like to mention that, please do.
Oh, I think we covered pretty much everything. No, thank you for having me here. Actually,
absolutely. Then have a great rest of the Thursday, and have a even greater weekend.
You too. I'll hope to see you around someday. So
absolutely count
shred on.
Thank you, man. Bye.
For sure. Bye.